Hello and welcome to week 11 review. I'm going to make this a quick one. I know last week went on for about 10 minutes because I like the sound of my own voice, but this week I'm going to try and make it, I don't know, somewhere around 3 minutes, something like that. So let's get on with stuff. First things first, having watched my video back last week, I realised that what TV does to you gives the wrong impression, and last week it gave the impression that I might be balding. So I thought I need to deal with that. So one, I've put this hat on. Two, let's deal with the correspondence. And I know that I had correspondence from Paul Vallance, and he suggested four suggestions, that I forgot to wipe and wash my hands at the end of last week's video. The other thing, he suggested fancy dress, a la the cat. He suggested dress as a woman. So for your benefit, Paul, there we go, dressed as a woman. I'm not sure it covers the hair though totally. And the third thing he suggested was a GIMP mask. So I don't know if that's suitable, or if indeed it probably one that Paul would like better is that. There you go. So I've succeeded for that, but my suggestion is it's not really covering my hair. So just to help us all concentrate, I haven't got a hat, but we'll put that on. I am downstairs, as you can see a clock up there, so I'm not in the toilet, just so you can concentrate on the video. Right, so I've gone on long enough, as you all know. Let's clarify the correspondence from last week first. The other bit of correspondence I had was Jo Barker. She enjoyed my report, but she did say that she was watching it on the way home on the train, and that she couldn't stop laughing at Swanley. Now, people live in Swanley, and I think laughing at Swanley is probably inappropriate, Joe. Bear in mind you're from Sheffield. I think laughing at people in Swanley is a little bit inappropriate. Sam Mummery enjoyed his nickname, or as I now call him, Ben. Remember, that's to do with his football team that did rather well at the weekend. There's a big clue for you. And they're in the second round of the FA Cup. Ben, or Sam, suggested he loved his method acting. Now, if you appreciate what his nickname is, you'll appreciate his method acting. And I'd just like to point out that I find that a little hard to swallow, and quite frankly, it leaves a nasty taste in my mouth. So I'll leave you to deal with that unpleasantness. So let's deal with the review. I entitled this week's review, Thistle is no Patsy, but Carl flaps as Tom scratched and sniffs to contention. Now, I think that is superb headline writing. I'll let you work it out. So, the league, no change at the top. Trev Shaw, he's been consistent all season. He stays at the top. Sam Mummery, again, proving very successful this year. And FC Chicken Run. And those three really are taking over at the top. Although we do have the Loro, Julie Drury, my wife, Andrew Gillen, Nick Fletcher, that's Fletch 80. They're all level in fourth. So it's going to be close. And the other one level in fourth is scratched. New boy, Tom Thatcher. And he's only 10 points back, and he has had a fantastic run recently. So he's flying. After two recent minuses, this is hope for you all. Patsy Thistle, Patricia, she scored this week's only century. She scored a brilliant 105, which is fantastic. And that's her second century of the season, I think, and that is climbed her as well. So it just shows you what you can do. Mark Brentner, he's obviously always been awful, but he's also been awful last week. But he's now great at 80. If you want to take that as his age, that's up to you. I'll show you a picture and probably confirm that you think he is. Nick Bentz, Bensalona, great nickname. He has achieved mid-table obscurity with a nice 75. Check out my league table and you'll see what you are, whether you're a contender or mid-table obscurity or even worse. So have a look at that. Scoots, Ian Schooler, he pedals away from the poo with 80. Do you like what I did there? Pedals away because he scoots. Yes. Laurie Gillen, Gillatron 28, she scored her season's first minus. But she's still topped the Golden Glove because that's her only minus, but bad timing to get her first one this week. Fatty Tureen, Ricky Creed, John Phelan, a Leeds fan, Toffees FC, Lindsay Moore, Chat Flaps 25, Cole Cousins, and Glenn Harper. You all got a negative this weekend after all getting a century last time. So again, it shows it can change for good and bad. Last week, all centuries. This week, all negatives. So disastrous there. The other people to get a mention: Ian Cameron, Tax Dodgers FC, Nick Haynes, new boy, and even Danny Mitchell doesn't usually get a shout out. Lives in Ireland. That's probably why he hasn't got internet access. You all get a mention too for the remaining minuses. So I think there was 9 of you got minuses this week, and you were the final 3. Okay, moving on. Serious note here. Former league great, former league great, Alex Morrison and Young Boys FC, Rob Bolton Young, both Arsenal fans, and they both predicted that they would lose 2-1 to Swansea. Unusual, yes, but the only 2 not placing their scores, you see, that's hence it come up that their team was going to lose. Their team did lose, which rather annoyingly gave them 30 points to put them in plus points, but deservedly they remain in 36th and 38th position. So Rob Bolton Young fails to take control of himself, hence the poo. Do you like what I do with these headlines? So, enjoy the website. I'm very, very clever with these things. Okay, moving on to the League Cup, 3rd round, finally. Best 20 scores remain in the League Cup for those that were left in. There was 20... the top 20 of 24. So they all stay in, they all progressed well. So check out the website to see if you progressed. But correctly predicting the Gunners being shot down by Swans. Do you like what I did? Change that around because it's usually Swans. That saved Alex Morrison and Young Boys FC. And of course, Young Boys FC was your last season's runner-up in the League Cup. But it saved their skins by just 10 points. Toffees FC... Well, she only saved herself by 5 points, but it doesn't matter whether it's 5 points or 100 points. They're through to the next round, so congratulations on that. But there was a tiebreaker required. John Phelan, new boy, Fatty Tureen, they had to go to a playoff to decide who went into round 4. So it went down to correct results. John Phelan just nicked it, 3-2. So 3 correct results out of 10. To Fatty's 2, so Ricky Creed goes out. John Phelan's through to the next round, so congratulations on that. Just going back to Gillatron 28, as I mentioned, she got her worst score ever. Chap Flaps 25, and Ian Cameron, you all leave the cup, I'm afraid. All poor scores, and you're all out of the competition. So it's down to our last 20, 24, something like that. So next week, there's no game. It's the all-important international break again. Oh. Tedious, isn't it? It always seems to be one of them. But in 2 weeks' time, we return. It'll be week 12, 22nd November. So get your scores in for that. It's the Champions League Group Game 4. And that really is hotting up Champions League. So enjoy your time now. I hope you enjoy this review. I don't think it's been too long. And I'll take my hat off now. And you can enjoy the reflection on my glasses. Okay, thank you and goodbye.